Judge him on his plan. The plan, he said, was to win the pin end of the line. What does he mean by that? He means the downwind end, the end that's going to be closest to the bottom of our TV screen. That's because from the top of the line, they're struggling to get full pace, but Burling wants it too. He tries to turn inside the Canadians. Robertson defends, cuts down across the Kiwis. Now, here we go. What's the next play? Robertson's well positioned, but New Zealand will have a run at him, and Delapierre looks like he's going to go on his own, and he's going to wind it up on that French boat now. New Zealand, one more turn down. They attack the Canadians again. Does Robertson defend, or does he open things up? It's 9 seconds to go. Canada must keep clear of New Zealand. Burling's timed this well. France are coming at pace. How's your timing? Peter Burling at the bottom end of the line. Perfect from the Kiwis there on the inside. They have control. They should lead from here at Mark 1, but there's going to be some tight rules incidents. France must keep clear of Canada. Canada must keep clear of New Zealand, but the Canadians are out the back.
The French are the fastest boat on the course right now, over 80 kilometers an hour of speed. The Kiwis also very quick and have the inside.
At mark number 1, it is the Kiwis. The Black Foils are up and foiling with pace. Canada sits on the inside, France on the outside. Stevie, this is a big moment, leg 2 of 7.
Well, Robertson called the best place to start, but he just couldn't quite execute it. Burling's timing was absolutely spot on. He attacked him with 10 seconds to go. There was no defense left. Now, big decision at the bottom here. Do you save a maneuver on this leg with a left turn, or we've seen the Kiwis make a gain by heading back towards the crowd? It'll be interesting what Burling and Tuke choose to do. This is the first time they've actually had a choice. Looks like they're going to keep it simple with a left turn. Canada will follow. I anticipate France is surely going to look to split the course. No, they're going to stay with them. The whole fleet are staying tight, and if you're on board that New Zealand boat, you are over the moon to see that.
New Zealand, the winners of race number 1. Canada won race number 2, and France won race number 3. So all the winners are out there today, and Canada's the first to turn away.
Well, yeah, as soon as you're sailing behind someone, Todd, you're in disturbed wind. You've effectively got less potential horsepower. Someone's blocking the wind in front of you there, and that's why Canada have chosen to get out, so they can sail their own race, sail with their own speed, but it was a bit of a loss early on the leg for the Canadians, and France, they're going to be struggling to overtake the New Zealand boat by just following at the minute.
At the boundary, it is the Kiwis, the Black Foils. They make the turn. Content Delapierre and the French, they sit in second on the course as it stands right now. Did Phil Robertson make the right call to split away early?
We'll find out in a minute. It doesn't look like a great call at the moment. It looks like the wind's rotated right. He's got a big left shift at the top. He's really turned away from those lines, but he's struggling. Look how slow they are. The wind's got light on that left-hand side, and that's what Lisa told us. There's more wind towards the bottom of our screen. Should be good news for France and New Zealand, and it certainly looks it at the minute. Canada off the foils.
And so far, we are seeing the Kiwis sailing beautifully. Out of the maneuvers, they are accelerating so much quicker than the French, and that's saying something for the boat that previously was the masterclass.
Well, yeah, but the New Zealand boat spent most of the day sailing in disturbed wind. We've not really seen what they can do, and right now, look at that. That was a massive loss, that extra maneuver. The wind got light on Canada, and they now need a mistake from those 2 lead boats. They're just at the minute that both teams, New Zealand and France, are stretching as wide as they can on the course. They're sailing right from boundary to boundary. That strategically is to save maneuvers. Every time you turn the boat like this, you lose speed, you lose distance. So if you can minimize maneuvers, you get yourself sailing around the course pretty quick.
But look at the speed of Canada right now. It's increasing. Now at 58 kilometers an hour, where the Kiwis are going 43, the French drop now to 39.
Yeah, they're just sailing a slightly faster, wider angle at the moment, Todd. New Zealand is desperately trying to make it up to this next turning mark without another maneuver. That's the main priority for the Kiwis at the moment. France chasing in, but New Zealand, if they can get round here, I imagine France will follow them, and they'll feel very much in a controlling position on New Zealand. It's all about keeping it tidy.
And now it's the Kiwis on to leg 4 of 7 here in the event final of the ITM New Zealand Sail Grand Prix, trying to win their home event. France does, in fact, follow the Kiwis, and now it is Canada that has lost distance despite the speed, and the speed picks up for the Kiwis. Look at this, approaching 70 kilometers an hour.
The French currently with the fastest average speed around the course, slightly closing that gap with the Kiwis, but will it be enough?
And that's just classic of the French. They like to sail the boat fast, but normally the consequence of sailing the boat fast is you're sailing a little bit more distance. It's always a little way up. Do you sail less distance or do you sail faster? And New Zealand at the moment, what I like about the French right here is the Kiwis continually are making the right moves. So don't do the wrong move and give them the race easily. At the minute the French are staying there, once we're halfway up the next upwind leg, De La Pierre's going to have to try something. He can't continue to follow the Kiwis, but at the moment it's not a terrible strategy because you just keep the pressure on the Kiwis and you see if they're going to crack under that pressure.
It's certainly something that does not happen very often, Peter Burling cracking into pressure. But to your point, Stevie, this really is the first race that they've had this all by themselves out in front, no one to have to deal with. As Lisa talked to Peter Burling, having that extra space. He wasn't really confident about their starts, but today it seemed to work, and here they are at gate number 4.
Yeah, here go the French. Now he's making his move. De La Pierre chooses to do the extra maneuver down here, splits away. Burling turns right back towards the fans, and this is it. This is De La Pierre's move. He's splitting the course. He's hoping for extra, but look at that. They're a bit high. They're a bit loose on that rounding. It was a tricky rounding, but they're messy. They're messy on the French boat there. They've got slow. Should be good news for the Kiwis, but when they next come back together, whoever is ahead, I think, will look to take the win here because they're going to have a big advantage.
Currently, we have slightly more pressure on that offshore side, as we've seen before with the French, but not a lot.
No, and it looks like a gain to me to New Zealand, to be perfectly honest right now. Looks like potentially a 100-metre move. I think the French had to do that. I've got no problem with that from De La Pierre. He needed to try something, but they just didn't execute it well. It was a messy rounding at the bottom. Not the easiest thing to do, the jibe and then turn the boat up. 2 manoeuvres in a row, but they just didn't do it smoothly. 50 metres is now 120 metres. This is the New Zealand Black Foils. This is their chance to bring it home in front of the fans.
Now, if they take the win here, it's not just the event that they are going to win. They are going to take the lead on the overall season leaderboard.
And a very tidy maneuver there by the Black Foils. The Kiwis and their sponsors looks like they are bringing it home. The lead now has shrunk down to 100, so the French have picked up about 50 meters. But again, they are running out of real estate as the Kiwis will get through this next gate. Then they'll head back up the course. Phil Robertson getting back into play, but he has run out of time as well. He's got a massive deficit to second and first.
Yeah, Burling did that extra maneuver there to ensure that he controls the final decision into the gate. So he was happy to sacrifice a few meters to give himself tactical control here. He's going to turn the boat now one last time before this top gate, right on top of the French, and then it should now be one turn downwind and they'll be lined up for the final mark. So yeah, lost a bit of distance to gain a lot of control there. Classic, safe match racing move from Burling on the French, and it's advantage New Zealand. De La Pierre and the French crew need a Kiwi mistake to have any hope of getting the win here now.
How easy are we making it? Okay, come down. France round right turn now.
So France follows New Zealand, hoping that Peter Burling and his team possibly make a mistake, have a sloppy maneuver, and they can capitalize. But right now it is over 200 meters that the Kiwis have the lead. They have waited a long time for this one, and they are on their way to claiming the title here in Christchurch.
Last maneuver here, Todd. Can they nail it? The boat's smooth. Look how level that platform stays. Both hulls similar distance above the water, silky smooth. They then tip the boat slightly on top. There's a lot of water over them, avoiding that mark. Oh, that was a little bit scrappy by the Kiwis. Oh, but the French are scrappy in the background as well. They're up in the air, maybe fatigue. It's been a long day out here on the water, but right now the Black Foils are locked back in. They've got the heel locked back in. The French are charging, but it's going to be too little too late on board this French boat. Going to be second for France as the Black, hear the crowd on the shore. That sounds like half of New Zealand standing up to applaud them.
And they bring it straight in towards the Adrenaline Lounge here in Littleton Harbor. All of Christchurch on their feet. Say hello to your winners. It's the Black Foils with the win.
Nothing the Kiwis like more than a hometown win, and France bring it home in second. Quentin de La Pierre, well, he's a pragmatic guy. For the season, massive, massive moment for the French. That could put them back into the top 3, back into that dream of making the grand final in San Francisco later in season 4. But have a look at that for the New Zealand crew. Burling, he's pumped. The fans are pumped. What a day's racing.
And look at the size of the crowd that turned out. They were disappointed yesterday that there was no racing. Certainly worth the wait today. Action from the very start, and it is the hometown favorites, the Black Foils, that get the win here at the ITM New Zealand Sail Grand Prix.